Hello, my name is Brandon Adams, and this is the GM Faulty Switch Service Bulletin brought to you by the Center for Auto Safety. The Center for Auto Safety is an independent, nonprofit organization dedicated to advocating for auto safety, quality, and fuel economy on behalf of our members and all drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. The group has put into place certain laws pertaining to everything auto, set in place safety and highway standards, and monitoring sales of automobiles and the regulation of safe, sellable cars. In addition to safety laws and regulations, the company is also focused on locating problems around all automobiles and puts into place recalls on unsafe conditions of vehicles that may cause any harm or detriment to the vehicle caused by faulty manufacturing. For right now, the company is focusing on current automobiles, but looking into the future, they hope to regulate more advanced machinery, self-driving cars, and whatever the future may hold, while making sure they are still the safest they can be. Some of the supporters of the Auto Safety Center are almost anyone who owns a car. They regulate all vehicles and maintain the safety for new and used cars worldwide. The company is supported also by various publications of car magazines and safety campaigns worldwide to help car companies have the best, most reliable cars and trucks with no issues. If any issue comes into play, they are there to help catch and let the manufacturers know how to fix the issue. Being in various publications makes the company well known and makes the general public more aware of the safety company. Some things the Center for Auto Safety hope to accomplish are: what reparation should be made to the victims' families, placing responsibility for the faulty switch design, industry regulations, and the deaths occurred due to these faulty designs, and lastly, the cost of life versus the cost of production, redesign, or recall. Some background on the case. General Motor Company has been unprecedented amount of cases filed against them in relation to the faulty switch mechanism that was manufactured by the company and put into production to nearly 2.7 million vehicles nationwide. The switch is the cause for numerous deaths and accidents around the globe, and in the wake of future development within the cases, GMC has been asked to take responsibility for their faulty design, their industry regulations, and the deaths that occurred in relation to the switch itself. What led to the incident of the faulty switch mechanism in GM's smaller vehicles was the chain of command in the engineer Raymond DiGiorgio's false placement of blame. GM blamed the crisis on the engineer. However, the company failed him in providing adequate materials for his job to be handled effectively. After not being provided with the correct materials, DiGiorgio took matters into his own hands for the betterment of the company's vehicles. Even though he made the right decision, he did it while supervisors denied him the right to produce the ignition switch he needed. The faulty switch he had originally produced still was in a number of cars and led to multiple injuries and some leading to deaths, even though committees were telling him to change the switch and higher-ups were not approving his requests. The incident became a crisis when claims started rolling in about a faulty switch causing deaths and injuries, and GM's reputation began being threatened. I think the company was looking for someone to blame when they came into this understanding of what was the cause of the issue and realizing that the company had tried to cut costs. The rising number of deaths and accidents caused by the switch continue to pop up, and while everyone wants to blame the engineer for the switch, it should be the company taking blame on not correctly focusing on the actions of management who did not accept these requests. Giorgio should have listened to the supervisors, but I think he did what was right in trying to provide better parts for the vehicles. The key consequences of this crisis is Giorgio losing his job and GM and himself going through multiple lawsuits in relation to every faulty switch incident. In addition to that, the company has lost millions of dollars and continues to drop in sales and market value. While issuing a safety recall is the first step, They may also think about lemon laws around the affected GMC cars and could place a law around the manufacturing of GMC as an industry as a whole. The communicative goal of the Center for Auto Safety would be to inform the public and issue a safety recall on all the affected models of GMC cars. The company would mail these recalls to registered cars, and suspected used cars would be inspected at dealerships. The company would provide a description of the issues that may come about or currently be happening to drivers who have the affected model or models. They would then charge the company for fixing the faulty manufacturing components and make sure each car was back to the safest car it could possibly be. While being taken to court has given the company over $120 million in penalties and damages, restitutions, and reparations that should be paid to each individual family should be closely more addressed. There is no monetary value one can place on the life of a human being. No one should ever have to think about that. However, the company need provide to every affected family an amount that would be able to help the families cope with the loss of a loved one. Again, there is no easy way to do this, and no amount of money should be sufficient, but that is also where the company is charged for the wrongful manufacturing. There should be forethought about every single manufactured part in the vehicles for every possibility of redesign and recall before situations related to this one become present. There should be no worry at the cost of these production aspects due to the lives of customers purchasing GM's vehicles. As for Raymond, he is being prosecuted and facing multiple allegations against him. I don't think he should be facing these charges due to the management not providing what he needed. He did not listen to management, but he did provide for the betterment of the company, in my opinion. I understand that people want to blame him, however, I do not think it was his fault. In summation, the deaths GM cars cause need to be dealt with case by case, with each family and car manufacturers around the world should look at the current standing of the company and learn from their mistake. This does not make up for the hurt that they have caused to every family